Providing our dogs and cats with plenty of enrichment is really important to keep their brains and their bodies moving, and it's also really important to help reduce stress and anxiety. Keisha, what does it look like and why is it so important for cats?
Well, cats like Rosie here are actually not too different to their wildcat ancestors, which means they've retained a lot of their behaviour and instinctive drives that their wildcat counterparts would have. And that means that they can be prone to sort of stress and anxiety when they're confined into a home environment, especially if we don't meet those needs.
And what about their urge to hunt? A lot of people think, well, you know, they get fed well, so they're not going to want to do that.
Well, it's a common misconception because even a well-fed cat can still have a really strong predator drive, and they're both predator and prey in the wild.
It's also really important that they catch their prey, isn't it? Because a lot of people use lasers and stuff, but this isn't any good, is it?
Yeah, so cats really like to be able to fulfil the entire sequence of hunting,
yes,
which means that they need to be able to watch their prey, they need to be able to stalk it and then pounce on it, and they need to be able to catch it. And if we're using things like laser pointers, then they can become frustrated enough to then redirect that frustration to us.
A big one, of course, like it is for our dogs, is that we should be making them work for their food.
Yeah, well, in the wild, cats obviously need to spend a lot of their waking time procuring food. So we need to be able to fill that as well. And one way you can do that is by providing structured play. Again, using those toys that they can actually hunt and pounce on and catch and play with.
And a great thing, which is what I say a lot for dogs, like ditch feeding them in a bowl. It's a wasted opportunity. So things like snuffle mats are really good, and puzzles, and I suppose this is just as important for cats, isn't it?
It's really important for cats.
And then, of course, if cats and dogs don't get their enrichment, we see a lot of behavioural issues, don't we?
Well, cats are just a bit prone to stress and hypervigilance anyway because they are both a predator and a prey species. So their prey drive will make them more sort of prone to being stressed if there are things that aren't fulfilling those needs, or if they sense that there's any danger. So in a household environment, we want to make sure that we give them the opportunity to escape any perceived dangers. They have a really finely attuned fight or flight response, and usually their instinct is to do the flight. So their instinct is to run away. That means giving them sort of spaces particularly high up to escape. That's because when they perceive danger, they tend to try and escape up high. And similarly, the other thing that they really like is to have the ability to hide away in a sanctuary. So something like a hiding box or a cat igloo. And lots of studies have shown that cats in both a home environment but also in shelters or vet clinics will actually be less stressed if they have the ability to hide away in a box.
Okay, so we need to give them plenty of enrichment, ditch the bowl, and of course if they're an indoor cat, they still need parasite protection because of that prey drive.
They do. They do a lot of hunting, and there are parasites that aren't through hunting as well. There are parasites that they can be exposed through mosquitoes or flies and things like that. So we just have to make sure they're up to date with parasite control even when they're indoors only.
Lovely. Thanks, Keish. Look for NextGuard Spectra for dogs and cats at your local pet specialty store, including Petstock or online.